Hey YouTubers, this is Dr. Sal. If you haven't been here before, I am a general dentist, an online fitness coach and nutritionist, and I'm here to provide education, motivation, and inspiration. If you have not done so yet, please subscribe below to get additional content. I will be posting weekly. With that said, let's get into today's topic. Transforming your body and losing weight is a very difficult thing if you don't know what you're doing. And sometimes we need to identify some factors involved that can limit our potential, our growth, and our transformation. So this video is to talk to you about the 7 most common limiting factors and how we can overcome them. The first limiting factor is eating too many processed foods. We all do it or have done it at some point in our lives. It's the most readily available food in grocery stores. A lot of Americans live in societies or locations where it's a food desert, meaning that the actual natural foods that are made in this country are in locations where there's not a lot of people. So we have to rely on grocery stores to get our foods. And sometimes we are so busy that we don't really focus on the content of the food. And that's why we buy them for conveniency. We don't have to cook them. They're already prepackaged. The problem with that is that they're loaded with calories and they don't have a lot of nutrients. Those calories, if not burnt off, get stored as fat. Those nutrients are going to be low, and therefore your body is craving more food to get the nutrients it needs to perform its daily functions. On top of that, processed foods tend to have more high glycemic index carbohydrates. So when you eat them, you get this big rush of sugar in your bloodstream, and that results in a big increase in insulin. And over time, you quickly absorb that glucose into those tissues that need it. So then you get a decrease in the bloodstream within an hour or so, and you get hungry again because your body thinks it's in a low sugar state. So you tend to overeat because of these processed foods. Now, the way to do it is to eat foods that are minimally processed and have a lower glycemic index, meaning that they're more complex carbohydrates that your body needs more time to break down. If they need more time to break down, it means that they will be released into your bloodstream in a gradual manner, very slowly, so you don't get those spikes in insulin. And this is a very important thing for people that are diabetics. It's also important for people that just want to lose weight and want to control their appetite. The second limiting factor is not receiving enough protein in your diet. Proteins are probably the most essential macronutrient that you need from your diet. And the reason being is that they perform a variety of functions in your body. Number one, they transport nutrients across cells. They help in contracting your muscles via your actin and myosin filaments. They are important for your immune function, and the hemoglobin, which is a protein, helps to transport oxygen within red blood cells to active tissues. Among other things, proteins are very important. If you do not have enough protein in your diet, you will lose lean body mass. When you are in a fed state, you usually receive energy through carbohydrates. As you start to starve, or you are having an intense exercise that's for a prolonged period of time, you start to use fats and protein. So you have to constantly replenish the amino acid pool. Proteins are very important in that aspect. They're also important because they are less likely to be removed from the stomach during digestion in comparison to carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are the first thing that your body is able to remove into the intestines, and then protein is next. So if you eat high protein meals, you're more likely to feel full than if you just eat strictly carbs. So for that reason, it's very important. It's recommended that when you're losing weight and you're performing high intensity training, that you receive 1.4 to 2 kilograms of body weight per gram of protein. So for example, if you weigh 100 kilograms, which is roughly about 200 pounds, maybe a little bit more, you need to take in about 200 grams of protein. Another way to look at it is you want 1 gram of protein per body weight. However, it's not just body weight. So for example, if you weigh 300 pounds, you don't need to take 300 grams of protein. It needs to be your lean body mass, and that's plenty of protein. If you take too much protein into your body will convert it into ammonia, which it can be toxic. So it needs to turn that into urea, and your kidneys can get taxed. So too much protein is not good. But the problem is when people start dieting, they're in a calorie deficit, they're not eating enough protein, and they definitely will feel the results of that. The third limiting factor is we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. I'm a huge advocate for this. And I know we all hear it all the time. You need to eat fruits and vegetables. You need to eat fruits and vegetables every single day. Dark leafy greens and so forth. But we don't do it. We focus so much as a society on fats, proteins, carbohydrates, what's the percentage that we need, that we forget about the micronutrients, which are our vitamins, our minerals, and our water, all of which we can get with our fruits and vegetables. In fact, we can also get thousands of phytochemicals, which scientists are continuously learning about. And we realize that they're protective against certain cancers, certain ailments and diseases. They prevent premature death and can prevent or reduce coronary artery disease. So why wouldn't we want to eat these foods? First of all, they're packed with nutrients. So for the given amount of calories that you have, they're high nutrient density foods. And so you get the most bang for your buck. Plus, you can eat a ton of this food and you're less likely to overeat, and you're more likely to feel full, and you're more likely to have sustained energy because you're getting those micronutrients. In addition to that, it takes a longer period of time for your body to digest these foods, so you're less likely to want to eat further down the road. So I really do suggest that you eat as many fruits and vegetables as possible. We do suggest that you eat 5 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. And I really do emphasize dark leafy greens. Eat foods that are very high in fiber so that they can help reduce your hunger as well. The fourth limiting factor is eating when we're not hungry. We do this all the time, and it's usually habit-based. So one of those ways in which we do it is we snack. People snack all the time. They do it at work when they're at their desk. If you're a doctor or a nurse, you do it in between patients. You do it while you're driving to and from work, or when you're going on a vacation. You do it while you're playing video games or watching TV or on the computer. You snack a lot. Now, it's okay to snack from time to time, but you have to make sure that you plan it ahead of time and that you're eating nutritious foods. You can't just be eating just for the purpose of eating, because it's a habit. People do the same thing when it comes to smoking. They smoke when they do specific and particular actions, especially when they're driving. They have a tendency to smoke out the window because it's a motion that they're doing. So you have to cut the snacks out if you don't really need them. The other thing is we eat when we're not hungry by picking a time in the day arbitrarily and saying this is the time that we're eating dinner, this is the time that we're eating lunch. Let's say, for example, you want to eat lunch at 11 o'clock every day, but you're not really hungry yet, and you're really hungry around 11:30 or 12 o'clock. It's better to wait until you get hungry than just eating because of the time. If you focus on time instead of what your body is actually trying to tell you, then it could lead to you overeating over time. So listen to your body, eat when you're hungry, don't eat when you're not hungry. The fifth limiting factor is eating food for comfort and to help you manage your emotional stress. We all do this on a regular basis. I've done it myself. I am one of the biggest culprits of it, and I've learned to deal with it over time, and you can do it too. You have to realize that food is not necessarily always the right way to cope with your emotional stress. We all have days where we're struggling, or we just don't have a good day, or we're emotionally drained or physically drained, and you look forward to going to have that next meal. And you might have a piece of chocolate, or you might have a piece of cake, or you might go to the fast food chain just to get something because it feels good, it's quick, and it makes you feel temporarily like you're in control. The problem is you're only eating for a few minutes. Those taste buds aren't active after you stop eating the meal. So you have that 20 minutes of pure joy, and then the next 23 hours and 40 minutes, you're going to live with a lot of uncomfortable moments and discomfort. So your body feels full, you feel lethargic, you don't have a lot of energy, and you got to spend those other 23 hours of the day wearing tight clothing or not feeling great about yourself. And then you eat that meal, you don't want to go to the gym, you're tired. The best way to look at it is, how can I reduce my stress without overeating? The best way to do that is to incorporate physical activity at least 4 to 5 times a week. It will help you with stress relief. It will help you become who you want to be. You have to stop focusing on food as a source of stress relief, because it honestly does not do that for you on a long-term basis. It does do it temporarily, but for the majority of time, it's going to make stress worse, especially physiologic stress on your body. The sixth limiting factor is going on a diet. I really don't like the word diet. And the reason why is because the diet really signifies that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And Nutrition is really a lifetime thing. It's not just a temporary thing. You need to eat food all the time. That's a constant. If you don't eat food, your body will wither away and eventually it could lead to death. You need to eat food consistently. So a nutrition plan should be something that is long-term, it's a lifetime thing, and it's something that you can sustain. A lot of people do these fad diets, and there's always a new one coming up every 5-10 years. There's the paleo diet, the keto diet, the intermittent fasting. It doesn't really matter what kind of diet you pick as long as it's a nutrition plan that is sustainable for life. If you think you can intermittent fast for the rest of your life, then do it. If you think you can do keto and you can maintain a healthy lifestyle and your blood work is healthy, then do it. Same thing with paleo or the Mediterranean diet, whatever it is. If you think you can sustain it for a long period of time, then do it. The problem that a lot of people have is we count calories all the time. Over 90% of people that lose weight are counting calories. So we know we need to do it. But is it really sustainable to count every ounce of food every single day of your life? No. So unless you're doing that every single day and you can adhere to it, it's not going to last long term. You have to focus on portion control, and you have to focus on figuring out the foods that you need to eat on a daily basis so that it becomes routine and you don't even have to count them. That's the way to do it. It's all about being sustainable with whatever you decide to do. So my idea here and the goal is to have a nutrition plan, not a diet, a nutrition plan that is sustainable for life. The seventh and final limiting factor is the weekend. Boy, do we love the weekend. We work hard Monday through Friday. Some of us work Monday through Thursday. But then that weekend comes, we're so excited. We were so good on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then you tell yourself, the weekend's here. I'm with my family. I'm having a good time. And you take your foot off the pedal and you eat something bad. So all the hard work that you put in through the weekday has gone away within 1 or 2 days, because then you start to binge eat. One of the main reasons why we do it is because we don't eat enough calories during the week. We're in such a calorie deficit Monday through Thursday or Friday that when the weekend comes, we tend to overcompensate for that. So Monday through Friday, you have to be very cautious as to what calorie portions you have and how much you're eating. And you also have to have a plan that if on the weekends you're going to a party or you're going to eat something somewhere where you shouldn't be eating that food, that you either have a plan ahead of time of what you're going to bring with you or what you're going to allow yourself to eat, or just make it so that that one meal you eat a small amount of whatever it is. But you can't have the whole weekend go to the wayside, because then you start the next Monday back where you were the previous Monday and you never make any progress that way. So there you have it. Those are 7 limiting factors that can really hinder your weight loss or your transformation journey. If you like the content of this video, please subscribe below and share with other people. Feel free to comment and feel free to email me at thinkandgetfit@gmail.com for any direct information, or if you want online fitness coaching, I'm here to help you out. All right, with that said, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay focused, make the rest of 2020 a big one, and reach your goals.